Hello and welcome to episode 5 of these NoiseMap demonstrations. In this episode we're going to look at categories and combinations. These are a very powerful but perhaps somewhat obscure feature of NoiseMap. Once you understand how they work, you will find them very flexible and you can use them in lots of different situations. So let's start NoiseMap. So NoiseMap opens and confirms what modules are licensed to us, and we're going to open the Glendon Road project that we've used previously. And we've opened it with the scenario that we used before. This is called the with 3 receivers scenario. But to demonstrate the use of categories and combinations, we need to add a little bit more road to the model. So let's reload the bitmap. Go to View, Load Bitmap. We want to load the calibrated bitmap so we don't have to calibrate it again. There it is, and we open it. It comes in at a particular scale. We need to make it a little bit smaller so we can see the whole thing on the screen. What I'm going to do is to put in this estate road here, just again with a nominal traffic flow on it, and we're going to see how that changes the noise level at the receiver points. So let's go to Add Object, Road Segments, automatically generate the height, but we're going to put it at the ground level. Click OK. I've gone to the add mode. I'm going to add some segments along here. Try and follow with the minimum number of segments. I know that NoiseMap will break at the grid line, so I'll click there. That's as far as I need to go. When I right click to stop the addition, then the properties box opens. It tells me that there are 11 segments, and I'll call this the estate road. You'll notice that at the moment there's no traffic flow. We'll notice also that the roadway is a bit wide. That's because they're all at 5 meters. I think it would be better to reduce that to 3 meters and apply that. And you can now see that we've got a reasonably good fit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on making this any better. There is, of course, an issue that we've got no flows assigned. So to do that, we actually do need to add a new flow. Go to Parameters, Traffic Flow Manager, and enter a new flow. We'll call this the estate road. It'll be an 18-hour flow, and let's say it's 2000. Oh, I need to click there. 2000. The speed is going to be 50 kilometers an hour. That's probably a bit high, but this is only for illustration. And say 2% heavy. Okay. You'll see that the Glendon Road is used on 7 segments. Of course, I've just added this. It's not used on any segments yet. But if I now go to here, there is the estate road, and because all the segments of road are still selected, I can add this to all those segments. Click Apply. And in fact there we now see that it is actually on 11 segments of road. So we've got a traffic flow on that road. But what I would like to do is to calculate for a receiver. I want to work out how much noise is coming from the estate road and how much from the main road. Well, the way I do that is to say that this road is in a different category from this road, and that way NoiseMap will add up the contributions from traffic here separately from the contributions in traffic here. But to do that, I need to define those categories. So the next thing I will do is go to parameters and edit the categories. At the moment there is only one category, it's called default. If I click on here, I see that is called default. I'm going to change that to Glendon Road. So category 1 will be Glendon Road, and I'll update that text. Now I need to add a new category which automatically is numbered 2, and I'm going to call that the estate road. So now I've got 2 categories. I need now to apply those categories to the new road. So I'll close this dialog just for the moment, and up here you can see that the estate road is still in category 1, which is Glendon Road, but I'm going to change it to category 2, estate road. And because all those segments are selected, all those 11 segments are now in category estate road with the estate traffic flow. If I come out of add mode, if I go to select mode, yes, I need to apply those changes. You will see now that Glendon Road is in this new category number 1, Glendon Road. So when I do a calculation, NoiseMap will produce totals for those 2 categories. But what I want are the sum totals. So to do that, I go back to categories, edit categories. And what I would now like to do is to get NoiseMap to print out the totals. These are printed out only for the category combinations that you've defined. We are going to have 3 categories. We're going to have Glendon Road, because we want to print out a total for that. And we're going to add a combination which we're going to call Estate Road. So we'll update that. Now I've got that. But now I'm going to add another combination which is all roads. Now at the moment I've not said what categories are in each combination. So let's examine what's in each combination. So if I highlight Glendon Road, I'm now looking at selected categories, and that's just category 1. If I highlight Estate Road, that's category 1, but actually I don't want it to be category 1, I want it to be category 2. Highlight it under all categories and click Add. And I don't want it to include category 1, so I remove that. So that when it prints out the totals for the Estate Road combination, I will just get those segments in category 2. Now when I go to all roads, I want to include both category 1 and category 2, so I need to add category 2. Now let's go back and check what we've got. If I click on Glendon Road, that is just the total for all the roads in category 1. Click on Estate Roads, that will be the total for all the road segments in category 2. When I click on all roads, that will be all the segments that are in category 1 and in category 2. So that's the grand total. You can have as many categories and category combinations as you like, up to a total of about 100. or in some versions of NoiseMap it may be more than 100. You'll need to check the manual. So having done that, I can click OK. So NoiseMap will now, when we do a calculation, store the results for those three category combinations. Now let's do a new receiver, and we'll put in one on the end of this building here. This will be affected, of course, by both Glendon Road and by the Estate Road, and it would be interesting to find out how much it's affected by each of those two roads. So now we need to add a receiver. Click on Add Objects, click on Receivers. Again, automatically generate the height, but I'm going to make it 1.5 above the ground. So now I click where I want the receiver to be, then draw to the left hand side and to the right hand side, the limit of the field of view. I'll put that in as receiver 4. Click apply. So now I'm going to do a calculation just for this receiver here. And we'll do an on-the-fly calculation because we'll get the printout straight away for that. And I'll calculate for the selected receiver. We will do the summary printout in this case, and it's going to be the L1018 hour. And there we have straight away in the all output dialog that we're getting 58 from Glendon Road, 56 from the Estate Road, giving us a total of 60.2. And that's very interesting because it tells us that the Estate Road makes a significant contribution to the receiver, although it's below any noise level for statutory insulation. That's a very quick description of how you can use category combinations. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.